The first contact and challenge. The stellar Voyager hummed with a subtle vibration that only Captain Mira Reyes could feel through the soles of her boots. 16 years of commanding the most advanced exploration vessel humanity had ever built had attuned her to its every mechanical breath. The ship wasn't merely a collection of exotic alloys and quantum processors. It was an extension of her will, a manifestation of humanity's refusal to accept the boundaries of the known universe. Captain, the anomaly readings are off the charts, Lieutenant Commander Eli Chen reported, his fingers dancing across holographic displays that projected impossible mathematical functions. The dimensional variance is unlike anything we've encountered before. Mira nodded, her dark eyes reflecting the cascading data streams. At 42, she had become the youngest captain in the Stellar Exploration Corps by refusing to accept the impossible as a limitation. The silver streaks in her otherwise jet-black hair marked each breakthrough discovery, each boundary pushed beyond conventional understanding. "What's your assessment, Dr. Kalu?" she asked, turning to the ship's quantum physicist. Dr. Nandi Kalu stood before the main observation portal, his tall frame silhouetted against the swirling cosmic anomaly that pulsed with colors that shouldn't exist in normal space. "It's not just a dimensional rift, Captain. It's responsive. The quantum signatures are adjusting to our scanning patterns." Responsive. Mira approached the portal, standing shoulder to shoulder with her chief scientist. "You mean it's aware of us?" "Not just aware," Kalu replied, his voice hushed with wonder. "I believe it's inviting us in." The anomaly stretched before them like a cosmic tapestry woven from impossible mathematics. Conventional sensors struggled to process what they were seeing, space folding upon itself in patterns that defied Euclidean geometry, energy signatures that fluctuated between existence and theoretical possibility. Mira made her decision in the span of a heartbeat. Prepare the ship for dimensional translation. Full quantum shields. Neural interfaces at maximum capacity. "Captain," First Officer Yasmin Dekhan interjected, her Iranian accent sharpening with concern. "Starcom protocol requires we report this discovery before attempting contact. And by the time bureaucrats finish debating approach strategies, this opportunity could vanish," Mira countered. "The Voyager was built for exactly this kind of discovery. We're going in." The command center erupted into controlled chaos as the crew prepared for what might be humanity's most significant first contact. The Voyager wasn't just any exploration vessel. It incorporated cutting-edge technology based on theories that most mainstream scientists still considered impossible. Its neural interface system allowed the crew to process information at speeds that pushed the boundaries of human cognition. Its quantum shielding could theoretically adapt to dimensional stresses that would tear conventional matter apart. Dr. Sofia Rodriguez, the ship's neural interface specialist, approached Mira with a specialized neural crown. "This will allow you to maintain conscious thought processes even under extreme dimensional strain, Captain." Mira nodded, allowing the device to be placed on her head. Immediately, her consciousness expanded, her thoughts processing at speeds that would have seemed impossible just decades earlier. Human technology had evolved rapidly since the quantum revolution of 2087, but even the most advanced systems relied on the one thing machines couldn't replicate: human intuition and creativity. "Dimensional transition in 3 minutes," announced Lieutenant Commander Chen from the navigation station. Mira addressed her crew one final time before they crossed the threshold. "Whatever awaits us on the other side, remember that we represent not just Earth, but the fundamental human spirit of exploration. We face the unknown not with fear, but with wonder and determination." The Voyager crossed the boundary not with a dramatic flash or a violent lurch, but with a subtle shift in reality itself. One moment they were in normal space, and the next. "My God," whispered Dr. Kalu. They had entered a realm that defied conventional understanding of space and time. Around them stretched a vast cosmic architecture that seemed simultaneously ancient and newly formed. Structures of impossible geometry floated in a medium that wasn't quite space, more like thought given physical form. Colors that had no names in human language cascaded across surfaces that seemed both solid and fluid. "Full sensor array," Mira commanded, maintaining her composure despite the wonder unfolding before them. "Let's find out what. Who dares enter the realm of AAZARET?" The question wasn't heard, it was experienced, resonating through their minds and bodies simultaneously. The neural interfaces struggled to translate the concept into something human consciousness could process. Mira stepped forward. "I am Captain Mira Rise of the Earth vessel Stellar Voyager. We come with peaceful intentions, seeking knowledge and understanding." A presence materialized before them, a being of such immense complexity that their minds could only interpret it as a swirling vortex of cosmic energy, occasionally taking forms borrowed from human mythology. A face of impossible beauty would form, only to dissolve into mathematical patterns that hurt the eyes. Humans, such fleeting beings. Your existence is but a blank in the cosmic timeline. The dismissal in the entity's tone was unmistakable. Mira felt a surge of defiance rise within her, the same defiance that had carried humanity from caves to the stars. "We may be young compared to you," she replied, "but we have achieved much in our blink of existence. We seek to learn, to understand, to grow." The entity's response was a wave of energy that the ship's systems barely managed to translate, something between amusement and contempt. "IAMAZARAT. This realm has existed beyond your concept of time. Countless species have discovered it, and ALLAVPRV in unworthy way of ATSSECWARDTS." Mira sensed an opportunity. This wasn't just a first contact, it was a test. Throughout human history, advanced civilizations had often tested those they considered inferior, and humanity had a long history of defying expectations. "Then test us, Azarath," Mira challenged, ignoring the shocked expressions of her crew. "Judge our worthiness by our actions, not by your preconceptions." The cosmic entity seemed to pause, as if genuinely surprised by the audacity of this tiny being. "UUDCHALLENG. No mortal has survived of AAZARAT. To fail is to be erased from existence. Yet you offer these trials to those who find your realm," Mira countered, "which means you seek someone worthy. Perhaps that someone is human." A ripple of what might have been laughter passed through the dimension. "Very well, Captain Nira. You may attempt the 3 trials of AZARATH, CUCED, and TKS realm, and it's in OLEGBC yours to steward. Fail, and your species will never find this place again, and you will cease to be." The stakes were clear. Mira turned to her crew, seeing the mixture of fear and determination on their faces. "Captain," Yasmin whispered, "this is beyond our mission parameters. We're not authorized to make agreements that could affect all of humanity." "Sometimes the most important discoveries happen beyond parameters," Mira replied. "This is why we explore, to find not just what we're looking for, but what we never knew to seek." She turned back to the cosmic entity. "We accept your challenge, Azarath." The dimension around them shifted, reality folding upon itself like origami crafted by a god. The Voyager now floated in what appeared to be a vast amphitheater of crystalline structures that reflected not light, but possibilities, each facet showing a different potential reality. "The first trial is the trial of PRCPTY. You must see what it can to be seen. Understand what Defies, UNDERSTANDING." Before them materialized an object that shouldn't exist, a geometric shape that violated the fundamental laws of mathematics, constantly shifting between forms that contradicted each other. Neural interfaces at maximum capacity, Dr. Rodriguez announced, her voice strained. The object is impossible. It's creating cognitive dissonance at a fundamental level. That's the point, Mira realized. Azarath thinks we can't comprehend something that defies our understanding of reality. But humans have been imagining the impossible for our entire existence. She approached the object, her neural interface allowing her to process information at speeds beyond normal human capability. Dr. Kalu, what are we really seeing here? The quantum physicist studied the readings on his specialized equipment. It's a 5-dimensional construct, Captain. Our 3-dimensional perception can't process it correctly, so we're seeing contradictory information. Like trying to understand a cube from a 2-dimensional perspective, Mira mused. We need to shift our thinking. Lieutenant Commander Chen stepped forward. If I may, Captain. This reminds me of the ancient Zen koans, questions designed to break conventional thinking. Exactly. Mira's eyes lit up. We're not meant to understand it through conventional analysis. We need to transcend our normal perception. She turned to her crew. Disengage analytical protocols. Don't try to solve it. Experience it. The crew exchanged uncertain glances, but followed their captain's order. As they released their attempt to categorize and analyze the object, something remarkable happened. The impossible shape began to make a different kind of sense, not as a physical object, but as a representation of potential. It's not a thing. Mira breathed in wonder. It's a possibility space, every configuration it could take, all existing simultaneously. As this understanding dawned on the crew, the object stabilized into a crystalline structure of breathtaking beauty, still complex, but no longer impossible to comprehend. Interesting. Few species ever pass the first trial. They remain in their limited perceptions. Azarath's presence seemed to have shifted slightly, the contempt now tinged with curiosity. The second trial awaits. The trial of creation. You must create K-A-N-N-O-T-E-X-S. The amphitheater transformed into a vast empty canvas, a blank space of pure potential. Create what cannot exist. Dr. Rodriguez murmured. That's a contradiction in terms. If we can create it, it can exist. I think that's precisely the point, Mira replied, a smile forming on her lips. Azarath is still underestimating human imagination. She addressed the cosmic entity directly. Throughout our history, humans have imagined the impossible before making it possible. We dreamed of flight before we built wings, of reaching the stars before we crafted rockets, of instant global communication before we developed the internet. Mira reached out to the blank canvas before them. The greatest human gift isn't just our technology or our intelligence. It's our ability to imagine beyond our limitations. With a thought channeled through her neural interface, she began to create. Not a physical object, but a concept. An evolving system of ethics and beauty that adapted to the needs of diverse beings across multiple dimensions. It was simultaneously a philosophical framework, an artistic expression, and a mathematical equation, something that couldn't exist in conventional reality but could be conceptualized by the human mind. The crew joined her, each adding their unique perspective to the creation. It grew more complex, more beautiful, more impossible, yet undeniably real within this realm of pure thought. Azarath's presence focused intensely on their creation, studying it with what seemed like growing alarm. How CN beings, so finite, CONCEIV of such complexitively. This should not be possible. The cosmic entity's tone had changed completely, the dismissive contempt replaced by genuine astonishment. We may be finite in lifespan, Mira replied, but our capacity for imagination knows no bounds. We've created something that exists beyond conventional reality, exactly as you challenged us to do. The creation continued to evolve, developing its own internal logic and beauty. For a moment, even Azarath seemed captivated by what these supposedly primitive beings had manifested. None heavy everprodgressedthvar. The cosmic entity's voice now carried a note of concern, perhaps even fear. The final trial awaits, the trial of undrstanding. You must comprehend that which is beyond comprehension. The realm shifted again, and before them appeared Azarath itself, not the limited manifestation they had been interacting with, but the entity's true form, a cosmic intelligence so vast and complex that it existed simultaneously across multiple dimensions and realities. Understand me, if you can, humans. No being has eversucced. Mira felt her mind stretching to its breaking point as she attempted to comprehend the true nature of Azarath. The neural interface warned of critical cognitive overload. Around her, her crew members struggled similarly, some falling to their knees from the mental strain. But Captain Mira Reyes had not come this far to fail. As the first trial had taught them, sometimes understanding required transcending conventional analysis, and the second trial had reminded them of humanity's unique gift for imagining beyond limitations. "We don't need to understand all of you," she said finally, her voice steady despite the strain. "What we need to understand is why you offer these trials at all." The cosmic entity seemed to pause, as if surprised by this approach. "You've existed for eons," Mira continued. "You've tested countless species. You don't do this out of cruelty or mere amusement. You're searching for something, for someone capable of succeeding you." The revelation struck her with sudden clarity. "You're lonely, Azarath, and you're tired. You seek not just worthy beings, but inheritors." A profound silence fell across the realm. The crew of the Voyager held their breath, sensing they stood at a pivotal moment, not just for themselves, but for all of humanity. "Perhaps there is more to understand about humans than I first believed." The trial and triumph. Azarath's presence rippled through the dimensional fabric, sending cascades of impossible mathematics swirling around the crew of the stellar Voyager. For the first time since their arrival, the cosmic entity seemed genuinely uncertain. "In all my eons of existence, no species has ever discerned my true purpose." The admission hung in the air like a physical thing. Mira maintained her steady gaze on the swirling cosmic presence, understanding that she stood at a pivotal moment, not just for herself, but for humanity's place in the cosmos. "The greatest understanding often comes not from analyzing the details," she said, "but from stepping back to see the whole picture. You've been seeking successors for how long?" "Time has no meaning here as you understand it, but by your research, billions of your years." Dr. Kalu's equipment sparked as it struggled to process the implications. "Captain, the entity appears to predate the formation of our galaxy. And in all that time," Mira continued, addressing Azarath, "you've tested countless species, hoping to find one capable of inheriting your realm. Not conquering it, stewarding it." The cosmic architecture around them shifted, revealing glimpses of previous civilizations that had discovered the realm, species of incredible diversity and technological advancement. Yet all had failed the trials in various ways. "They so ugit only power, knowledge as a we upon. No one understood the responsibility of holding a realm between our realities." And that's the real final trial, isn't it? Mira realized. Not just comprehending your nature, but understanding the purpose of this place and the burden of maintaining it. Lieutenant Commander Chen stepped forward, his analytical mind making connections. This realm, it's not just a dimension. It's a nexus point between realities, a cosmic crossroads. Dr. Rodriguez added, her neural interface processing data at blinding speeds, a place where dimensional barriers are naturally thin. Mira nodded slowly as the true significance dawned on her. You're not just a cosmic entity, Azarath. You're a guardian. This realm needs active maintenance to prevent dimensional collapse that could threaten multiple realities. The swirling presence of Azarath coalesced into a more defined form, still beyond conventional understanding, but showing a structure that suggested purpose and design rather than chaotic power. Yes, IHFY boundaries between realities. Science BFOR your CN burned. IHVPREVNTD cosmic AORORs. From CSPILLNG across dimensional borders. IHV stay a by lies ed. Reality it is self. We in chaos and ICEVENTs 3 and D2 Luinoroiv. It'll it. And IHVGRODON. Weary. The admission of fatigue from an entity that existed beyond conventional physics struck the crew deeply. Even cosmic beings, it seemed, could know exhaustion. First Officer Dekin spoke up, her voice filled with concern. Captain, are we truly considering taking responsibility for something we barely understand? This goes far beyond our mission parameters. Our mission has always been to explore the unknown and expand humanity's horizons. Mira replied, what greater horizon could there be than this? She turned back to Azarath. You've tested countless species before us. What makes you think humans could succeed where others failed? You are DIFFE orient. The entity's response carried a note of wonder. Most species, or each for the istiaras, through pure technological advancement, or evolutionary advantages. But humans. Images flashed around them. Scenes from Earth's history. Stone Age humans using fire and creating the first tools. Ancient astronomers mapping stars with primitive instruments. Artists creating works that captured the sublime. Scientists developing theories that transformed understanding of reality. Philosophers contemplating existence and meaning. UADVANC through creativity, through QUESTIONI. Higi, through IMADGI. Angie Luha DVUE's NOTYEXATI. Your short life spans that should be a limitation. Heavy BBC your greatest strength. Each generation building upuantae elast. Seeing with fresh eyes. Mira felt a surge of pride at this cosmic acknowledgement of humanity's unique place in the universe. We're far from perfect. Our history contains as much darkness as light. Perfection is stagnation. Azarath's presence shifted again, forming what almost resembled a gesture of invitation. It is your capacity for growth, for adaptation, for seeing beyond limitations. They ate many keys you suita below guardians. The full weight of what was being offered began to settle on the crew. This wasn't merely first contact with an advanced entity. It was being offered stewardship of a cosmic nexus that maintained the stability of multiple realities. If we were to accept, Mira asked carefully, what would this mean for humanity, for Earth? Your fees as ICAL forms would remain as they are, but your CONACIOUs and ESS would be expanded. You would be COMETA and TRFAs between your species and his realm. Others from your kind could visit, learn, grow, but you would be the guardians, the anti-jors. Dr. Rodriguez looked alarmed. Are you saying we would never return home? Ho me, as a kiko and CPT, they wuyud tchang or you. You wuyud exist he or. Yet, nene in connection with your world. Time flows different lie here. You could spend eons in this realm, while only moments pass in your dimension. Mira considered the implications, her mind racing. This wasn't a decision she could make lightly, nor could she make it alone. She gathered her senior officers in a tight circle, their voices hushed despite knowing that Azarath could likely perceive their thoughts. This is beyond anything we were prepared for, Yasmin said, her normally composed demeanor showing cracks of uncertainty. We can't make this decision for all of humanity. Yet we're the ones who are here, Mira countered. Throughout history, exploration has always meant making decisions in the moment with incomplete information. Dr. Kalu's eyes gleamed with scientific wonder. The knowledge we could gain, the understanding of reality itself. It would transform our civilization in ways we can barely imagine. But at what cost? Chen asked. Becoming guardians of a realm we barely understand. Taking on a cosmic responsibility. Mira listened to each of her officers, weighing their concerns and hopes. The decision ultimately rested with her, and she felt the weight of it pressing down like a physical force. Yet beneath the weight was something else, a profound sense of purpose. She turned back to Azarath. Before we decide, I need to understand what's truly at stake. Show us what happens if this realm remains without a guardian. The cosmic entities seemed to consider this request, then the space around them transformed. They witnessed chaotic energy spilling between dimensions, realities bleeding into one another, cosmic horrors beyond comprehension finding pathways between worlds. They saw Earth, their beautiful blue home, twisted and transformed by forces it could never comprehend or resist. And if we accept? Mira asked, her voice steady despite the horrific visions. The scene shifted again. They saw this realm maintained, stabilized, becoming a center of cosmic understanding. They witnessed other human explorers arriving, learning, growing. They saw Earth becoming part of a much larger cosmic community, protected from dimensional threats by the very existence of this stable nexus point. The choice, when framed this way, hardly seemed like a choice at all. We accept the stewardship, Mira declared, standing tall despite the monumentous nature of her decision. Not as conquerors, not as exploiters, but as guardians and students. The relief from Azarath was palpable, a cosmic sigh that rippled through the fabric of the realm. Then, the transition begins. What followed was unlike anything human language could adequately describe. Azarath's essence, the knowledge, the understanding, the responsibility accumulated over eons, began to flow into the neural interfaces of the Voyager's crew. Their minds expanded beyond human limitations, yet remained fundamentally human in their core values and perspectives. Mira felt herself becoming something more than she had been, yet not less human. Her consciousness expanded to perceive multiple dimensions simultaneously. She understood, on a fundamental level, how reality maintained its coherence across dimensional boundaries and how this realm served as a crucial anchor point. Around her, her crew underwent similar transformations. Dr. Kalu's understanding of quantum physics evolved to encompass realities where the fundamental constants of the universe differed from our own. Lieutenant Commander Chen developed the ability to perceive dimensional stress points that required stabilization. Dr. Rodriguez's expertise in neural interfaces became the foundation for a new form of cosmic communication. The change was neither instantaneous nor complete. They remained themselves, humans with their individual personalities, hopes, fears, and quirks. But they had become more, capable of responsibilities that no human had ever imagined. It is done. The realm recognizes its unyielding guardians. The cosmic architecture around them shifted, responding to their thoughts rather than Azarath's. Colors changed, patterns realigned. The very fabric of the realm adjusted to harmonize with human consciousness. "What happens to you now?" Mira asked, perceiving Azarath's essence beginning to dissipate. "I have existed for too long, maintained vigilance for too many eons. Now, at last, I may rest. My essence will return to the cosmic flow, from which I emerged. Perhaps, in time, I will form an new fresh purpose." There was something like gratitude in the entity's fading presence, the relief of a burden finally shared after an unimaginable span of solitary vigilance. "The realm is yours now. Shape it with wisdom." With those final words, Azarath's presence dissolved completely, leaving behind only echoes of ancient knowledge that the crew would spend lifetimes exploring and understanding. In the silence that followed, Mira and her crew stood transformed, not just guardians of a cosmic nexus, but pioneers of a new chapter in human history. "What now, Captain?" Yasmin asked, her voice carrying new harmonics that reflected her expanded consciousness. Mira gazed around at the realm that now responded to their collective will. With a thought, she created a viewing portal that showed Earth, peaceful, beautiful, unaware of how close it had come to cosmic catastrophe or the momentous transition that had just occurred. "Now," she said with quiet certainty, "we learn, we grow, we establish communication with Earth, we invite other explorers who are ready for this knowledge, and we maintain the boundaries between realities, ensuring that all worlds have the chance to chart their own destinies." She turned to her crew, her fellow guardians, with a smile that embodied the best of humanity: curious, determined, compassionate, and brave. "Our mission has always been to explore strange new worlds and expand the horizons of human knowledge. We've just redefined what that means on a cosmic scale." The realm around them pulsed with new energy, no longer the domain of an ancient, weary entity, but a reflection of humanity's endless capacity for wonder, growth, and renewal. In the months that followed, the stellar Voyager established regular communication with Earth. Selected scientists, philosophers, and diplomats were invited to visit the realm under strict protocols. Knowledge flowed in both directions, cosmic wisdom to Earth, and the vibrant creativity of humanity into the realm. The crew members themselves became something new, neither fully human in the conventional sense, nor cosmic entities like Azarath had been. They were bridges between worlds, retaining their human perspectives while wielding understanding beyond human capacity. Mira found that she could project her consciousness back to Earth, appearing as a holographic presence to address the United Nations and explain what had transpired. The news that humans now served as guardians of a cosmic nexus initially met with disbelief, then wonder, and finally a profound sense of purpose that spread across the globe. "We have not conquered this realm," she told the assembled representatives of humanity. "We have become its caretakers. This is not about power, it's about responsibility. We protect not just Earth, but countless realities that depend on the stability this nexus provides." Earth itself began to change, not through physical transformation, but through expanded understanding. Old conflicts seemed smaller in the face of cosmic perspective. The artificial boundaries between nations began to fade as humanity embraced its role not just as citizens of Earth, but as emerging members of a much larger cosmic community. In quiet moments, Mira sometimes felt echoes of Azarath's ancient consciousness, not as an invasive presence, but as whispered wisdom accumulated over eons of vigilance. The cosmic entity had not truly died, she realized, but had become part of something new. Just as humanity was not replacing Azarath, but evolving the very concept of what guardianship could mean. "We face the cosmos not as conquerors," she reflected, gazing out at the swirling dimensional energies that now responded to human thought, but as explorers, students, and guardians. "Our greatest strength was never our technology or our physical capabilities, but our ability to imagine beyond our limitations, to see not just what is, but what could be." The realm pulsed in response, its cosmic architecture now a beautiful hybrid of Azarath's ancient design and humanity's creative vision, a testament to the unexpected partnership between a cosmic entity and the young species that had dared to accept an impossible challenge. And somewhere in the cosmic flow, the essence that had once been Azarath observed with something like pride as humanity took its first steps into a much larger universe, not as subjects or servants, but as rightful inheritors of a cosmic legacy they had earned through courage, creativity, and understanding.